sis, hey, welcome you guys. I'm so happy that you are here. So I am outside today enjoying the weather, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys 5 tips to combat loneliness. So if you're struggling with loneliness, stay tuned. Alright, so tip number 1, you guys, when we're talking about combating loneliness, is to first and foremost remember that God is always there with you and that He will never leave you nor forsake you. So always believe that no matter what you're going through, no matter how difficult your time is, no matter how difficult this season is, that God is with you and that He is always for you. You know what I mean? So know that He's not leaving you, He's not forsaking you. This may seem crazy to you guys, but I often love to just imagine and just see the Lord as being with me all the time, and it gives me such a peace. Whenever I'm feeling stressed or whenever I'm feeling worried, I'm like, Lord, I just thank you because you're here for me right now. I thank you, Father, that you haven't left me. I thank you, Lord, that you haven't forsaken me. I thank you, Lord, that you're here for me. He will never leave you. He will never forsake you. Even if your friends don't want to be there for you, even if your boyfriend doesn't want to be there for you, your husband, whatever you're dealing with, doesn't want to be there for you, remember that God is there. And as long as we have Him, you guys, we're okay. And I know that our circumstances may seem like we're not okay, but we are. And so remember that you are not alone. Remember that God is there. Number 2, you guys, when you're feeling like there's nobody around, call up a friend. You know, hopefully you have this. If not, you can stay connected with me in the Single Woman Suite, and hopefully there will be some girls there that are in your area. But number 2 is to call up a friend. You want your female friend. It's important to keep your female friendship strong, you know. And I know that some of us, you may not necessarily have any right now, but that's not to say that God can't send you one, okay, or send you some. You only need a couple of good friends. So number 2, you guys, just call up a friend, talk to them on the phone. If you guys live close enough, get together and hang out. You know, singleness does not have to be, like I say, boring. You can do things, go to festivals, go to shows, go to picnics, whatever, with that friend, okay? If you don't have a friend, pray for God to send you a friend. Just like God's provided for you in the past with all other types of stuff, He will provide for you with a friend as well. So number 3, what to do when you are feeling lonely and you're just like, Lord, this is horrible. One of the things that I do is I just start to pray. I pray and I read my word, you guys, and it really does help, because as you pray and read your word, it starts to take the focus off of you and just you being so lonely and, oh, poor me, and, you know, I just am so sick of this season, or I'm just feeling tired of this season. And it really puts the focus on God, and it puts the focus on Christ, and it puts the focus on what matters. And so before you know it, as you're praying and spending time in your word, God will begin to give you revelation. He'll begin to show you new insights that you never knew, and He will begin to teach you new things. So make sure that you are praying and reading your word, which leads me to my 4th point, you guys, which is to also begin to worship. You know, so when you're feeling really, really lonely, a lot of times we think it's a void for a man, or we think it's a void for something to do, or we just think we're just bored. But that is an opportune time for our spirits to connect with God, to connect with our Father, the creator of heaven and earth. Put on some worship music and really begin to worship the Lord. And before you know it, you'll lose yourself in worship, and you'll be singing. And maybe you can do this while you're cleaning the house, or maybe you can do it while you're putting off a task that you haven't done in a while, or that needs to be done. But worship really helps you to get your focus off of the situation, and again, putting it back on Christ. And number 5, when you're bored, when you're lonely, you guys, that's a key opportune time to go through your phone and find people that you need to check on. People that are elderly, people that you haven't spoke to in a long time. You know, a lot of us were like, oh, like I often get the complaint, like, you know, and like, I don't have friends. The Bible says that if you, in order to have friends, you have to first show yourself friendly. So one of the things, the ways that you can do that is by checking on the elderly, checking on people you haven't spoke to in a long time, showing yourself friendly, really giving back to other people. And then maybe if you have too much time where you're being lonely, that's a perfect time to begin to see God and say, God, where can my services and my talents be best utilized at? Where can I help somebody else at with all this free time where I'm just feeling so lonely? Is there something that I can be doing to volunteer, to serve, to help a church, whatever it is? So that's the 5th thing that you can do during your time of loneliness, right? And like I said, you guys, I love all these tips and I use all these tips, and it really does help me to get through my lonely times and my lonely seasons, my lonely phases. So I hope that encouraged you. You guys, remember, God will never leave you nor forsake you. And when you're feeling down, really don't go down with that feeling. The enemy would love nothing more than to just pull you down with that feeling, keep you down with that feeling, and then you're just staying stuck and you're just in this spiral of depression or sadness because you're so lonely and woe is me. Like, no, take every thought captive and really begin to say, you know what, I'm gonna, instead of feeling lonely, no, I'm gonna switch my thought. I'm gonna pray to the Lord. I'm gonna thank God for my health. I'm gonna thank God for my strength. I'm gonna thank God for everything He's doing. And when you start to do that, you'll begin to shift out of loneliness, and before you know it, you'll have gotten through another test. So I hope that encouraged you guys. I pray that it blessed you. If you are not connected yet in the Single Woman Suite, I encourage you to connect. If you need new friendships, connect below at the links below, and I've also linked to any classes that can help you in your season of singleness with celibacy, etc. So and also I'm going to do another video that you'll see coming up soon, also with regards to more talking about loneliness and overcoming discontentment. So stay tuned and make sure you watch that next. It's going to be coming next. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.